Again, Kickback Jacks for Thursday, and again, good to have Dennis White with us here from the Football and Focus Show. Dennis, Coach Robertson came in and did a good job.
Coach Robertson, outstanding job. Talked to him for about 20 minutes while he was waiting on his good Kickback Jack meal. Him and his kids, family man, took all the linemen to his house on last week and fed them well.
Nice.
My son came back, he was so full. He did a on the grill, had so much food. They just good hospitality.
I remember Coach Roscoe used to every Thursday night with his kids had that Thursday night meal because it's tough to get Northern Gopher Nighthawks in there on Thursdays back in the old days. So they had that Thursday night meal.
Yeah.
That's a great thing the coach did for his kids.
Absolutely, and it's good. That's the way that that's where we grew up back in the day. You know, the linemen always had it that way. You know, they always took care of the linemen because they didn't get a lot of publicity.
Right.
So the coach took them to the movies, did different things for the linemen, and that's a good gesture. That is the way I am now. I've always been that way. Even coaching Pop Warner, I used to always take the kids to the movies, treat the kids. What I used to do was player of the week. I used to take them to an antique game or to a local game. And to a restaurant, and those kids enjoyed it, so everybody wanted to be the player of the week.
Oh, certainly. Back when I was doing some teaching back in the day, oftentimes I'd find kids who just didn't seem to have it together as far as behavior goes. I take those kids and some other kids that already take them to a wrestling match at the Coliseum. That was always an interesting thing.
Right.
Get those kids on a Saturday night, Greensboro Coliseum, the old NWA, Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, they get Wahoo McDaniel, Rick Flair, all those guys. Black Mulligan,
Ricky Steamboat back in the day, so all those guys. Yeah, the kids enjoyed that. It was something different, and something like that.
And it's rewarding.
Oh yeah,
it's rewarding. Yeah.
And then plus after the matches, you run down High Point Road to the convenience store, try to chase down the wrestlers, see if you can get them, stop and get gas or food on the way home, maybe meet somebody. Pretty good stuff. Speaking of meeting, last Friday night we met Jack and we met Frosty. Met them both. Cool night up on top of that Southeast River press box.
Yeah, you know.
Jack Frost and Frosty the Snowman. We had an early Christmas, and it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We was, when they say that you work out in the elements, you are in the elements. We were the elements because that wind, the Hawk was out, Jack was there, the whole winter group. The Bears went into hibernation. We caught the blitz, and it was a great game, great atmosphere, but we was cold. And Don Moore is the best. He provided us with the light, and I used that as my hand warmer as well. And the little kid that was up there filming Southwest,
I wondered about him.
He was standing over where the top opened so that he can get the heat from the bottom.
Oh, he was getting
everybody was everybody was trying to improvise. And Andy, again, hats off to Coach Tinsley. First year, he did an outstanding job, took his team a long way. You and I talked about that job, what that program stands for that community. You know all about that community.
Oh yeah.
You're very familiar with that community. And then do you think? I know they want to go further, but I think they're happy with what they got this year.
They seem to be, by all indications I've been able to catch up with. They seem to be pretty well pleased. Yeah. Good. A lot of progress.
A lot of progress. And his team played a great Dudley team again.
What about Dudley getting that win last week?
Yeah, that was a big win for Dudley Panthers. You talked about, Andy, you brought up the fan base of Dudley. They was jam-packed over on the other side supporting Dudley. Bill Slayton said if Dudley is healthy, they're one of the tough teams around. They know how to improvise. And their defense is just awesome.
Yeah.
The defense is awesome. G. Simpson need to give every one of the defensive players high five because they kept him with a short field.
Yeah, that's true.
And whenever you have a short field as a quarterback, you want to hug your defensive team because they allowed you to be able to be in your atmosphere to get those, as I always call them, nickel and diamond. So Dudley was able to move the ball on Southeast.
The thing I like about Dudley, they had about 4 different running backs. They used Darby, not a lot, but they used a lot of Summers. Will Height's getting a lot of carries now. And you've got Miles Smith, got healthy, got a lot of carries. But they used 3 or 4 of those guys. They just kind of shred that defense up a little bit. And all of a sudden, G. Simpson take off on about a 30 or 40-yard run. He played a little bit of Cam Simpson, I guess, and Cam Newton the other night. He did some of that running did Simpson up the field.
Yeah, and you look at the different sides of those backs. Will Height was the big bull back. He'll come through the hole and open it up for G. Simpson. And when you take a guy like Will Height, Andy, short to the ground, low to the ground, he can move some people out the way. And all G. Simpson need is a hole with his running abilities. And this time, he did an outstanding job. One interception last time he played them. It was a different ball game for him. He was knocked out due to injury, and he really played his heart out. He did a great job.
And those guys are saying on the team, hey man, give me 5. Coach say, just give me 3. Give me 3 yards. You give me 3 yards. He gives me 3 yards. He give me 3. We got a first down.
Yeah, and they're going to nickel and dime.
Yeah,
you get it, and that made your third down play calling a lot different. When it's 3rd and 2, it was manageable, rather than 3rd and 8, which Southeast got themselves in. When you look on the other side, Dudley pressure was too much for Southeast quarterback, just too much.
And Southeast had a 10-6 lead, then Dudley scores 14-13. It stayed 14-13 quite a while. Then Dudley cashed in that last touchdown to kind of ice the game, and Simpson 3 touchdowns running that night. I was telling maybe Chris, it seems like with G. Simpson, Coach Davis and Coach Best, and especially Coach Kirkpatrick, the offensive coordinator, they've been kind of gradually bringing him along. He's not yet attempted 100 passes on the season. He's got a set number of runs he's made, but slowly but surely they've been bringing this guy along. And he's now reaching a stage of progress, and he may be able to be that big main man they need to try to go a long way.
Yeah, and I think they did they did an outstanding job of putting his abilities with Dudley abilities.
Yep.
Because you have to play Dudley's style. G. Simpson had to be humble. He had to be, as you said, almost micromanaged, because sometimes he wanted to do too much.
Right.
And that's not of indicative of the play.
Well, sometimes a player may want to go out and do some twisting and turning and moving. The coach, they just give me a straight run and protect the football. Don't try to do any special twists or turns or try to stretch or whatever. Just give me a straight run. If you have to at the end of the play, get down, give me the yards, get back up, give me the same thing again.
Yeah, Dudley have made a name for themselves on fundamental football. We don't showboat. We run vertical and horizontal. We don't run both. You're going to run the play this way. You're going to run it this way, because this is what works. Because Dudley has a system. And once you have a system, G. Simpson bought into that system. And so that proved to work out well for him.
Let's look at this week now, breaking it down. We got 4 teams left. Last year we had 3 teams in the state championship. They used to go for play for the 3AA title. Page played for the 4AA title. Dudley won the 4A title. Had 3 teams in the championship game last year. We got now 4 teams left. It's just the second round. How about these 4? Do these 4 all win this week in advance, every one of them?
Yeah, contrary to what some may think, let's look at the Dudley, New Hanover. One of the things, Andy, that you and I have seen, Dudley know how to play playoff football. You and I talked about the word jail, not J-A-I-L, you're going to get locked up, but G-E-L, how they gel together, how they put this team together. Dudley know how to play football. And that defense, if New Hanover offense put up the numbers that it had been putting up, it'll be a surprise on Dudley. Dudley offense have an opportunity to emulate what they did last week. If Dudley can get a good field position, a defense can give them good field position, and G. Simpson can come down. Andy, you stated it. They didn't even do their passing game.
Right.
They didn't even get into that. So they won the game on their running. So if they have to go to the pass, guess what? Coach Davis is a mastermind.
Because Fitzgerald had 2 TD catches in last year's championship game, if my reading was right today, and he just had a big game last year. And he's ready. Wyman's ready. They're ready to go if called upon.
And what is New Hanover going to get on film? Dudley running.
Yeah, they're showing them out. That's right.
So what did Coach Davis do? A crap game.
Set him
up.
He
didn't show them, absolutely.
Right.
He didn't show them he didn't need that. He utilized G. Simpson, as you said. He utilized those 4 bullbacks, and that turned it out. But they did enough just to win that. They was disguising what they have left.
Yeah, because those assortment running backs are just showing the opposing team basic, just showing basic, just running basic.
And if you come in that game thinking that that's what you're going to get for Dudley, you're mistaken.
Yeah, and that may be when they're able to, maybe if he's completely healthy now, turn G. Simpson loose and let him do a few more things.
You're absolutely right.
So you're looking at Dudley to win that
Looking
game
at Dudley to win the game tomorrow. Yes, sir.
Page hosting Providence.
Page would be able to handle Providence pretty easy. For Page, they had that bye, so they had 2 weeks. And Page offense, Andy, is going to have to come alive for Page to continue.
And they'll need a little more offense tomorrow night.
Oh, certainly will against Providence.
How about, so you're picking Page to win?
Picking Page to win, yes, sir. I forgot.
What about Southwest, Asheville Reynolds? Southwest on the road.
I have to go with Southwest because talking with Chris Walzer, who is the voice for Southwest on our sister's channel, was telling me some things about this Southwest team a lot of people don't know. When Southwest beat the top team in Guilford County, Dudley. So their confidence is already up high, and they can play. They can
That's
play.
a good point. I'm always one that kind of does a strategic advance and approach. So Southwest beat Dudley. Dudley beat Page. So Southwest, in essence, would be in Page beat Eastern. So Southwest, if you want to do the old Dr. John's astrology and a strategy maybe, Southwest number one team in the county.
And when you look at it,
if you look at it that way,
if you look at it that way,
right,
you know?
right, that's a possibility.
And what you have to look at is Southwest is going into the game with a healthy Rainey.
Right.
And when you have a healthy Rainey, play both ways. So they have a majority of where now at DB or is still at both?
Mainly DB.
Yeah.
Mainly a lot of DB and just a little bit of offense, quarterback.
So,
but they may be saving some stuff up for tomorrow night.
And you took the right part that you were right, and that's what because they haven't seen Rainey. And Rainey can come in. He's a senior this year.
He is a senior headed to East Carolina,
and so he want to go. He want to stay in longer because each one of his years, Dudley took him out round 2. Didn't make it this first year, so now you have an opportunity. He want to seize the moment. So they're going to play great. I'm going with home team Southwest.
Mark them down to the visiting team tomorrow night, but you mark them down. Southwest wins.
Home Greensboro.
Right, local team wins.
Yeah.
So you talked about Rainey because he's going to East Carolina. Let's talk about another kid going to East Carolina. Woo. That would be Holton Ehlers, a quarterback from D.H. Conley. Guy we'll see tomorrow night. What about him coming into Eastern Guilford? Eastern Guilford's defense has got to be APB, all points bulletin tomorrow night.
And talking to Coach Rob, talked about the strategy, talked about how important it's going to be and he said it to you as well, his defensive back's going to have to make so many adjustments. And I wanted to ask you, I know you're a historian, and I know Coach Rob, defensive coordinator, probably dissect the film, and I wanted to see his pass selection. Does he pass short a lot, long short? Does he mix it up? So
I think he does a little bit of long because he's got one receiver who's got 1,300 yards, C.J. Johnson, 1,300 yards, 27 touchdowns. I think anything short he does it on the ground because he's got 891 yards rushing. He's got that close to 1,000 yards rushing to go with 3,000 yards passing, which is just completely off the hook, off the charts, crazy.
Right. So now, if I'm Eastern, I'm going to put in the old Clemson Tigers long time ago, Danny Ford. I'm going to go back to Danny Ford with the nickelback. I'm going to have the nickelback because what that does is that nickelback is going to take away that weak linebacker on that side, a rover back. We call it a rover back. And what that's going to do, that's going to now give you 5 DBs, what you're going to need. Because it's going to be hard, Andy, to stop this guy with your free safety because he don't have help side cover.
Right.
Nobody is back there to help him if they have quick receivers. But the good thing for Eastern, they have fast Nick Shealy. They have some good.
Yeah, he's a great defensive back. He's got about 9 interceptions on the year, maybe the state's leader. Talk about all of his offense, what Shealy does. His defense is more impressive. Think about it. I would do if I was Eastern Guilford, if I could find a way to do this and still keep it organized. Because you got to have an organized football team. I'll come up with these crazy things, sometimes out of control. They may not work. But if I'm organized in doing this, we talk about putting a spy always on a player. You're going to be a spy on this guy. I would almost find put 2 spies, a left guy and a right side guy, on this quarterback, number 12 tomorrow night. Got to find 2 spies on this guy. Got to pinch these guys in from the outside. I'm going to try to get some stunts and pinch it outside. We meet back there. You hit his left hip, you hit his right hip. We got to hit this guy.
Yeah, and the thing that they do as well, and the guards, they pull. They have the guards pull. So when it's a design run by the quarterback, the guard is looking, 2 people coming at those linebackers, as you just said. You got the guard going to pull for the Mike backer, and then of course the back come out the backfield, he's gonna have the strong side backer. So that's how this big guy is able to correct. But it's like you said, you got two guys spying on it. Now they're gonna take pressure off your linebackers when the pulling guard come and when the back come. So as you said, and you'll be able to pitch. Look at Page's defense. I would love for Page's defense to go against this type of offense, because this is what Page do. With those four linebackers, that guy would have a hard time, as you said, with B.J. Turner coming from the left, Tisdale coming from the right, and that would put a lot of pressure. So hopefully,
well, Eastern's got Gowda, they've got Golston, they've got as well Dennis Brooks. They've got a good core group of kids down there. Got a lot of tackles, and they know about bringing pressure.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to have to do. They have a great. Now I talked to Coach Robinson off camera as well. They have a great defense. Eastern is not 10-2 for no reason at all.
They got another kid named Sproul's got a lot of tackles too.
Sproul have a lot of tackles, and I think that we're going to see a lot. What I always talk about: cover one, cover three. I think they're going to strap zone. I wouldn't do a zone, because your zone is you're pulling up your backs, you're pulling up your DBs, and when you pull up your DBs and get, as you talked about, this guy have an arm, he can harm it, and they run crisp routes. So it's going to be a very good game tomorrow. But I'm giving Eastern the victory.
So you got Guilford County 4 for 4.
Guilford County 4 for 4.
4 for 4. Well, here's how it could happen. Talk to Joe about this. Talk to Chris about this. And I may have mentioned this to Coach Robertson, too. Doug Robertson from Eastern Guilford. If Dudley could go down and beat New Hanover and Wilmington, could beat them, Eastern Guilford go ahead and get their win, as you mentioned, against D.H. Conley. You got the number 1 seed, Clayton, hosting number 8 seed, Cleveland. Cleveland and Clayton played earlier this year, and in that game, Clayton beat Cleveland 35-17, but Cleveland did not have their quarterback. He is now returned, so you're kind of hoping, well, I kind of hope that Cleveland beats Clayton.
Cleveland beat Clayton, yes.
And then in the other game, you got Lee County, hasn't lost again. They're 12-0. They've had now on the season 9 out of 12 shutouts. Lee County, Team Smith faced last week, but Lee County facing against Cape Fear. Cape Fear just got Velasquez, that big, huge kid from last year. Yeah. He'd been gone for a good while, just got him back. So if Velasquez comes back healthy, if they can go in and knock out Lee County, and then Dudley would be hosting Cape Fear next week, and East will be hosting Cleveland next week. If Dudley beats Cape Fear, and if Eastern beats Cleveland, you could have Dudley and Eastern Guilford week 4, which is what we're hoping for. It'd be great. And plus, Chris mentioned you could have the West bracket going to go to 3AA, where Mount Tabor could beat Southwest Guilford in the final. Wouldn't that be interesting there?
That, man, you know, and that's
why I asked for, but hey, what the heck? Let's throw it on the table. Here it is.
That's why you are the brain of the outfit, because you're
I'm the dreamer. Tommy Dreamer's back in town. Tommy Dreamer.
And if that scenario play out, we will have the old Guilford County rivalry shootout again, like we said with Dudley and Northeast. Dudley and Northeast used to battle it out. Ragsdale and Dudley used to battle it out.
They did.
You know, so it could be those type battles again.
So 4 for 4 Guilford County.
4 for 4 Guilford County.
How about UNC over Pittsburgh last week? A big win for the Tar Heels last week.
What a great win. Don Moore and I happy. Tar Heels got a win.
New quarterback Elliott came through and played well. Plus that guy Ratliff Williams, he threw a touchdown, he took back a return for a touchdown, and he caught a pass for a touchdown, and the kid's out of Matthews Butler of all places.
Out of all places, Butler, yeah. Local.
Now that takes me to the question, what about Carolina this week? Will they wear out Western Carolina?
I think they have the momentum going in that they may get another one. So you know we always going.
Yeah, you got to be Western Carolina. You can't let that go.
You can't let
every win you can get. This is momentum for next year. Now they're building for next year.
Certainly is building up for next year.
What about that big one Saturday night here at Kickback Jacks on the TVs at Kickback Jacks? You got NC State at Wake Forest. Wake Forest had 64 points on Syracuse last week.
Yeah, that is going to be a good one. And I like and you know Clausen have brought his Demon Deacons a long way. But hey, NC State, one game away from winning or being a close contention for the ACC. So I'm going with NC State.
State to knock off Wake Forest.
Yes, sir.
How about tonight's game on TV? Got Pittsburgh versus Tennessee. Went with Joe on the distant replay tonight. Brought back the old Pittsburgh Steelers teams in the past. Got a bunch of them out there. A lot of old Pittsburgh Steelers like Terry Bradshaw, Terry Hanratty, Rocky Blyer, and going back to those linebackers, Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, Andy Russell, Mean Joe Green, L.C. Greenwood, Dwight White, Ernie Holmes, the big center Mike Webster. Could be the best center in NFL history, Mike Webster.
Mike Webster.
And those
you like
defensive backs like Mel Blunt and our old man Donnie Shell.
Donnie Shell.
Wow.
Oh, man.
All those Steelers for the past.
And you didn't even get to the receiver core. You know,
John
Lenny
Stallworth and Lynn Swan. Swan played 3 less years than Stallworth. Stallworth played longer than Swan did.
And you know, those were the glory days of Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. Do you think that group of players assembled in the 70s by Pittsburgh may be the best group for a time frame ever assembled, maybe?
I believe so.
Because they won 4 Super Bowls back-to-back 2 times.
I believe so. The Pittsburgh have, I think, 6 Super Bowl rings. I think they have 6.
I think they do because they won twice after Chuck Noll stepped down. One time with Bill Cowher, and then they got the one with Tomlin, so they got 6.
6, And
you got them, you got the Patriots, you got the 49ers, teams like that with a bundle.
And the Cowboys
and the Cowboys with a bundle,
absolutely. And so, Andy, when you bring back those names, L.C. Greenwood, Mean Joe Green, Jack Ham, that was football.
Jack Ham and Jack Lambert. Jack Lambert's the meanest linebacker I played the game. That guy, you put a picture of him up in here, you got kids walking in and running down the street away here. They see his post, they run away from the post.
And old Webster with the tooth missing the picture.
Killers.
Yeah, those are the glorious days of the Steelers, and I'm going with the Steelers tonight.
They're 7-2 and having a great year, and
having
Tennessee
a real good
6-3. Good year for them.
Yeah, good year for both teams, and going with the Steelers tonight.
Steelers tonight, and college football Saturday. Kickback Jacks. You got the Wolfpack and the Wake Forest team of Deacons coming in tonight. You got the Steelers, Tennessee Titans. Got a lot of basketball brewing now too.
Oh yeah,
crazy basketball.
Yeah, I was able to see Duke the other night against Michigan State. Duke have an awesome team.
Well, I didn't see one quite as well. I saw Smith and Grimsley. I did see that one.
Oh yeah. That was a good one. Yeah.
Saw Guilford at Greensboro last night in a packed house at Haynes Gym. That was a packed house at Greensboro College last night.
Right.
Saw our main man. He didn't play, but he's on the bench. Jalen Gore for Northwest. You got Brandon Lambert from Northwest on Guilford College. You got Brandon Lambert Southwest on Guilford. Greensboro College had KJ Langley's in town. He's at Greensboro College playing guard, and they got a kid named Kermani Marks out of Western Guilford on Greensboro College too.
So KJ is back.
He's back.
Livingston.
But he's going by the name Kiefer. He's going by his dad's name now. He didn't go by KJ anymore.
So he left
He
left from down at Livingston.
He came up here.
Came back. So Livingstone just wasn't a fit.
I guess it wasn't a good fit. Yeah, at the time, he played against his brother last Friday night. Cameron Langley's over at A&T. Played against KJ from Greensboro College last Friday night. Of all crazy things.
And no Spicer still
no Spicer still waiting on some kind of outcome.
Wow.
Some kind of verdict. Some kind of outcome. Yeah. But tomorrow night 4 for 4. Tonight you've got Kickback Jacks. Saturday you got State Wake Forest here. Do we have Alex tonight? Is he rolling?
Yeah, Alex will be here.
Okay, let's get him in because you do a good job of coordinating that. We'll get ready to wind it down at Kickback Jacks for a Thursday. Get Alex in the house.